已经是夏天，因为 summer and still not ice and snow in the mountains. Lots of green trees. It's in the blue sky, clouds.
Is connected by road, so lucky for us. Pretty soon you're going to start to see that Skagway River. Keep looking down at the Skagway River. In about a half a mile, we're going to come up to the whirlpool section. It's a section of really impressive whitewater. So, enjoy.
我们坐那小火车来到，经过加拿大，现在又回到了阿拉斯加这边。这三文鱼 local 是当地的三文鱼，吃午餐这里全部是阿拉斯加的新鲜三文鱼。我们一边吃一边有人伴唱。 这里的渔民给我们伴唱，这是我们的旅游组在这里吃午餐。这里是 fresh barbecue salmon in this place. We got a lunch tours.
Oh, thank you so much.
This is a show.
Oh, now how about you pop on over here for a quick one, sir?
Oh,
Quick picture.
Oh. 这里是 Salmon Valley， 小小的山沟里边，这些渔民搞得很有浪漫气氛。这里还有钢琴伴奏，这是一个 very old place。多年以前，人们这里淘金进到这里。
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wonderful folks, hello and welcome to Liarsville and the world famous Liarsville Hippodrome. Now, are any of you folks here from out of town? Yes.
No.
We like to joke around here and have a good time, but I would like to remind you that this here is an actual historical location. 117 years ago, all of this was a thriving city of tents. Now, it went from this hillside here all the way over to the Skagway River and stretched across for over 2 miles on this valley floor. Now, some of you probably might be wondering, why? Why? Oh, thank you, folks. Well, you see, this is the last level spot before the White Pass Trail makes its steady upward climb, making this the perfect base camp where thousands of people could come to enjoy their last, well, taste of civilization before headed up that trail in hopes of striking it rich. Here you could get a hot meal and a bed at the hotel tent, buy your tools and supplies at the smithy tent, you could get your laundry done and even indulge in a luxurious hot bath. Now, the going rate at that time for clean hot water was 50 cents. And for any of you bargain shoppers out there, dirty used water was only a quarter. Yes, that's a true fact right there. After that, you could go get yourself a shot of rot gut hooch whiskey from the saloon tent. And for you gentlemen out there, once you start to feel a little bit, well, frisky, you could head on down to the tent of negotiable affection. Now, the going rate at that time for a high-class madam like these lovely ladies right here was $5 for 15 minutes. Yes, I know, even to this day, that is still a lot of time. Yeah, well, I'm probably guessing some of you also might be wondering why this place is called Liarsville. Am I correct? Yes? Yes. All right, well, oh, thank you. Well, you see, that honor goes to a distinct group of professionals known to this day for their honesty and integrity. This group of professionals being?
Politician.
Very close. Newspaper reporters! Yes, because if you think about it, the Klondike Gold Rush, it was the biggest story of its day. In 1897, America had just come out of a deep depression. So when 2 tons of gold arrived in the port of Seattle Harbor on a steamer, well, naturally a stampede was begun. And of course, the newspaper reporters were sent up here to cover the Klondike Gold Rush directly from the gold fields. But when they arrived up here, they found out what an arduous task it was, each person having to travel that trail for over 6 months. And due to laws in Canada at that time, having to carry 1 metric ton of goods with them, mainly on their backs. Now, those newspaper reporters, they decided that was just a little too far to lug their typewriters. So what do you do, folks, if you don't want to work, but you want to collect a paycheck?
You lie.
Yes, you lied. They stayed right in this very base camp, and they collected all the tall tales and rumors coming down from the mountain and reported them as their own eyewitness first-hand accounts of things happening over 500 miles away. Now, they even had the audacity to write of what an easy journey it was. Because, I mean, really, of course, all you had to do, folks, was just take a leisurely cruise up the inside Alaskan Passage, enjoying 12 buffets a day and nightly entertainment. Arrive here in Skagway and take a smooth wagon road known as the White Pass Trail up to the summit. And once you reach that summit, well, you just take a short little boat ride over to Dawson. And folks, once you stepped off that boat in Dawson, well, you could just reach down into that ground and pull out potato-sized nuggets of gold. You throw those in your knapsack and come back down to Skagway, safe, sound, and extremely wealthy, all in 12 days round trip. Yeah, it was a pretty big lie that they told at that time. Even to this day, the White Pass Trail is no easy wagon road. It's a very treacherous mountain path that skirts around cliff sides and plunges through bog and mire. Now, it has even become known as the Dead Horse Trail. And are any of you out here familiar with famous author Jack London? Yes? Sure. Well, he spent almost a year here in Skagway, and he was even rumored to spend some time here in this very base camp. And he wrote of what he saw on the Dead Horse Trail, saying, "Their hearts turned to stone, those which did not break, and they became beasts, the men on the Dead Horse Trail." So when thousands of men came back down after having failed to make it over that pass and strike it rich, feeling defeated, well, I'm sure you can probably guess who they ran into once they got down here. It was those very same newspaper reporters whose fair and balanced stories had enticed them here in the first place. So it kind of proved true, a tradition known amongst newspaper reporters, even known to this day, of never letting the truth stand in the way of a good story. Now, I am required to ask this by Liarsville law. Do we have any newspaper reporters here today? Oh, still not a one. We're good. We're good. All right. All right. Well, enough history. How would you all like to be entertained? Yes. How would you all like to see some death-defying feats? Yes. How would you all like to dazzle in the special effects of our state-of-the-art theater? Yes. Well, then you folks came to the wrong show. Yes. But we do have entertainment for you. We promised you entertainment, and entertainment you will get. So I present to you the one, the only Miss Moonshine May.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Now, folks, a very popular form of entertainment at the time was poetry. Huh? Yeah, you see, it was very easy to pick up and carry around with you in your head. And a very popular poet of the day was a little fellow by the name of Robert Service. Now, is anybody here familiar with his work? One, two. Okay, definitely not a full-service crowd. Getting worse, all morning.
Oh.
So the poem that we'll perform for you all today deals on a subject that we hold very near and dear to our hearts out here at Larsville. And we hope that by the end it's very near and dear to all of your hearts as well. And that subject being, of course, the proper disposal of a frozen and frigid corpse.
Oh, yeah.
So, without further ado, we present to you the Ballad of Blasphemous Bill by Robert Service. I took a contract to bury the body of Blasphemous Bill Mackay, whenever, wherever, and whatsoever the manner of death he die, be it by battle, murder, or sudden wealth, by pestilence, hooch, or lead,